Welcome back, y'all. Today's restoration is on this absolutely thrashed pair of Fire Red 5s. The midsole has been completely obliterated due to its age. The upper also has some torn leather which I'll have to fix. Unlike the DMP6s I worked on in the previous video, the midsole is coming off in large chunks compared to the small chunks that the 6s had. The netting is yellowed severely, but I do not plan on replacing it. To start off, I'm going to remove the midsole and outsole from the upper. The midsole coming off in large chunks helps speed up the process of removing it before I can remove the outsole. Now with the majority of the midsole removed, I'm going to use an X-Acto knife to cut the stitching on the toe box to remove the outsole. I forgot to mention at the beginning of the video that this pair of shoes came in the Countdown pack from 2008, which makes it quite a rare shoe. It's also the only Fire Red colorway that came with the 23 stitched on the side of the shoe. Now using acetone and a putty scraper, I'm going to remove the last bits of the midsole that are still stuck to the original outsole. I'm going to be using a pair of 2020 Fire Reds as my donor pair for this restoration. Before I start the deoxidizing process on the outsoles, I'm going to clean them to make sure there's no dirt or grime on them. I find using a wire brush when cleaning outsoles is a great way to remove any grime or dirt that's stuck in the grooves of any outsole. The only way I can explain this sudden pause is that my camera ended up running out of storage. Unfortunately, I ended up taping up the outsole before I ended up realizing that the camera ran out of footage. Now with the original outsoles outside, deoxidizing, I'm going to start removing the midsole from the donor pair by using a pair of seam ripper. I meant seam ripper. I'm going to use a seam ripper to remove the stitching from the toe box of the donor pair. Using an X-Acto knife and small amounts of acetone, I was able to remove the midsole from the toe cap of the shoe. To say the least, I ended up going full scorched earth on this pair of shoes. I removed everything that I could possibly use in a future restoration. That was a little vent session, to say the least. I'm gonna say this: Jordan Brand did a terrible job with the 2025s. Well, sorry about that, but as you can see, even with a dull knife, the leather just cuts way too easily. And here, as you can see, there's just a lot of leftover leather on the midsole. I didn't cut most of this, it just ended up ripping off when I had to take the upper off. Now, to add to my frustration of the quality of the 2020 Jordan 5s, it took me 5 hours to remove the midsole from the uppers. To say the least, I don't like any 2020 pair of Jordans anymore. The only redeeming thing I could say about the 2020 Jordan 5s is that the little Jumpman that goes behind the outsole is actually 3D and it's not 2D like I originally had thought. Now, to get the correct fitment with the upper and the new midsole, I'm going to have to shave off all the leather that I was not able to remove with the upper. If you're enjoying the video or you just want to see more content like this, remember to like and subscribe. This helps out the channel greatly and gets my videos out to more people that want to see them. Finally, after about 2.5 days of work, I finally got the midsole and the upper to fit perfectly. Here you can see that the top of the outsole matches perfectly with the original glue line. Now, to fix the damage on the uppers, I'm going to use some paintable filler to fix that. While the filler is drying on the uppers, I'm going to paint the outsole with a few coats of white paint. The white paint will help hide any imperfections in the midsole when I was cutting it off of the original outsole. I've gone ahead and put down a couple coats of black paint onto the midsole before I started painting the white and red shark teeth. The outsoles now have all of the white coat that I need to hide any imperfections that would be seen in the midsole. Before I glue the outsole and midsole together, I'm going to go ahead and paint the red teeth. I'm using a pre-mixed fire red paint from Angelus Direct because it was a perfect match to the original outsole paint. To finish off the restoration, I need to paint the areas that I sanded down and put filler on the upper.
Homage got the vibe, got